Avoid connecting the drag line to the place that may be twinned. Oh no! T-W-I-N-E-D. Is that even a word? Curiosity has gotten the best of me. What we have here is the Yamabisi 9.9 horsepower outboard. I guess you guys have probably seen this thing on like Facebook and those like pop-up ads and all kinds of stuff. And I have been so curious to know, is it a usable outboard? Like, can you actually get it? Are they just gonna steal your money? Like, will it show up? Well, I just bit the bullet and did it, you know? In crabbing and whatever we do, we always have skiffs and john boats and whatever, and we're constantly going through motors, and I thought, hey, why not try it? If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but somebody's gotta roll the dice, you know what I mean? So here we have it. It did show up. A little bit of an interesting story as to how it got to be here. What do we do? We got the Yamabisi 15 horsepower outboard off of AliExpress.
September 17th.
We'll see how long it takes to get here. They said like, what did they say, October 5th or something
October
like that?
9th.
They said October 9th or you get 10% off the shipping costs. But I'm curious to see if it's even going to arrive or if we just got our credit card information stolen by China. We've done it now. So I'm at Beacon Light Marina here and I just picked up the first brand new thing I think I've ever bought. Yamaha 9.9. Long shaft motor. Brand new, super awesome service here. They did not give me the motor. I paid for it fair and square. Don't want people to think, oh, all YouTubers get everything for free. It was very painless. They set it up for me. They put oil in it. They made sure it ran. Super friendly people, great service. And it was easy as that. The Yamabisi, on the other hand, we are having some trouble with. It is significantly cheaper, but it was supposed to be here in 2 weeks. Of course, we got an email saying that for whatever reason, they can't ship it, something with customs, this and that. And they tried to charge us more money for shipping. And then they said we won't get it for 3 months. It's been a lot of headache, a lot of back and forth. Oh, and don't forget, you can bargain with these people. It's coming from China. So we bargained with them to get the shipping price way down to like $100 from like 360 or something, but it's still not gonna come for months and months. So now I have to take this brand new motor and sit it in my shed, lock it up in my shed for the next 3 months until hopefully the other one arrives. Check this thing out, man. I mean, this is nice. And I'm not kidding when I say I actually have never bought anything brand new. I've not bought a truck. I've not bought a house brand new. I've not bought a motorcycle, nothing. And it was $2,600. It's a long shaft 9.9 Yamaha, and it looks identical to the Yamabisi. But it is cool because you can go right to the dealership and pick it right up. And they have a warranty with it, and they show you all the ins and outs. And if it breaks, you can get parts right there or have them work on it, any of that kind of stuff. So definitely benefits for buying name brand. It took about 2 months to get here. To be honest, the way they were emailing, I'm pretty sure it was gonna take at least 2 months no matter what all along, and they were just trying to get a little more money out of you. Moment of truth. This stuff is literally from China, so you gotta deal with the situation, you know? We have it for a total price of about $1,300 shipped to my door. And I mean, it looks pretty good. It looks like a brand new motor. There is some things right off the jump that I think are kind of funny. First of all, the elephant in the room. It's called a Yamabisi, not to be confused with a Yamaha that's identical to this motor. So basically, I guess what they did was just clone a knockoff version of a Yamaha. The Yamaha version of this motor is $2,600. So we got this in 2 months for half of the price of buying a name brand Yamaha. It definitely looks a little funny. There's something about it that when you see it, you're like, it definitely kind of looks like a Yamabisi. It looks like a Chinese version of a Yamaha. See how the castings are like really rough and barely ground down? They're not painted very well. They are, but like the paint's cracking off everything. I think the tiller is kind of funny. It's just got 2 big stainless nuts that are just tightened down on each other. It does not look quite like a Yamaha. It has a lot of the same features as the name brand Yamaha. Everything's pretty much in the same place. This thing is something I've only ever seen on Yamahas. You twist this to adjust the friction in the throttle, and it appears to do kind of the same thing. The funny thing about this one is that in the name brand Yamaha, there's a return spring. So if you loosen this up and you twist it and you let it go, it'll return back to idle. And this thing, there's no return spring. So this thing is sort of obsolete. It's just sort of copied off of the Yamaha. So it's kind of funny. They just copied everything and then didn't add in all the features. So there's some things on here that are sort of useless. It's like in that weird uncanny valley where you know that something's not quite right, but it's pretty close. Even the fuel fill up. So this is the Yamabisi fuel hookup, and this is a name brand Yamaha. I'm curious to see if they're interchangeable, but I mean, it's literally identical, man. Also, it's got this, which I think stands for Chinese. It's a C and an E. Also the R, which...
Registered trademark, so no one can steal
the Yamabisi name. That's pretty ironic. That's pretty good.
Funny. Yamaha doesn't have a registered trademark. They're like, we're Yamaha, we're no Yamaha. They're like, we're Yamabisi, don't take our stuff.
Yeah.
We worked hard to build this.
There's a couple things on the outside too. You can see like this casting is pretty similar on a name brand Yamaha. There's actually a separation here, and this is two separate pieces, and you can remove this, I'm pretty sure. This one is just one solid aluminum casting. Biggest thing I'm noticing is that the castings are not real smooth. Like they literally, it looks like they pulled them out of some sand mold, hit them with a grinder, and then probably had some guy with a bicycle pedaling to like, you know, compress air to paint this thing or something like that. We'll take a look and see what it looks like underneath. So the cowling comes off just like a regular Yamaha. It looks pretty similar underneath. Don't really see anything there. It's a little more round than a Yamaha, but essentially the same. And everything underneath looks like, I mean, I just keep saying it, but it looks like the Chinese version of a Yamaha. It's also got this funny tag on it. It says Yamabisi with the number and everything. I'm not sure how many kilowatts of power 9.9 horsepower is, but this is 7.3, and it literally says made in China. But I mean, everything looks kind of the same, just a little bit off. The other funny thing to note is that, like, see this thing right here? This is for an electric starter, and this is a bolt up for an electric starter. I did not see an electric start version of this motor available online. Does not mean that it doesn't exist. Maybe they sell them in other countries or something. It would be kind of funny if they just had the supporting pieces and then no actual electric start, kind of like how the throttle does not have a return spring. Kind of chinsy looking plastic compared to what you would get on a real one, and castings are rough, and everything just looks like one cost tier down from a real one. It's got forward, neutral, and reverse, very similar to a Yamaha. The new ones have it on the tiller. It's got a run light, and it's got a manual pull starter. And this is the button where if you had electric start, the button would go right there. Yeah, I mean, it looks like an outboard. I've never bought a new outboard before besides this one, really. I mean, looks good. I'm curious to see how it performs, if it's gonna perform better, different, or worse. Also curious to see how long this thing is gonna last. Is this something that you buy now and you buy one every couple seasons? Can you get parts for it if it does break, or is it kind of a throwaway? All right, guys, so recently, I won't lie to you, I've come into a little bit of money here. I decided to treat myself. Everybody else on YouTube does it. I said, you know what? Why am I any different? I ought to live the lifestyle really should be, or at least represent the lifestyle, even when I'm driving. So, I bought myself a new truck, and we will have a truck reveal. If you haven't already figured out what it is, by the time we get to the gas station, I'll give you a little tour here. We have purple fuzzy dice. We also have a couple red flags. As you can see, we have a custom headliner. We also have a custom sticker bombed door card that also helps hold the door card itself on the door. Pretty sure that's because the window doesn't go down all the way and they were trying to fix it. And these are all telltale signs that this truck was owned by probably somebody around the ages of 15 to 17, and they probably drove this truck to the max. Speaking of earning cash and buying things that you want to buy, today's video sponsor is the Upside app. The Upside app is an awesome app that helps make you some money off of things you're already buying. You go and you buy gas. Every time you buy gas, you earn cash back. And it's not some points or credits or whatever. You can literally just get cash in your bank account. It's pretty simple to use. You just put your card in, you go on the app, you select a gas station that partners with the Upside app, go there, pump your gas, and you're earning money that you can literally spend anywhere. I guarantee there's a bunch of places around you that use Upside. The other great thing about the Upside app is that it not only applies to just buying gas, you can also go to places you want to eat and also earn cash back. One of the things I really like about it is that it's not only chains and stuff like that, there's actually a lot of local restaurants in my area that partner with Upside, which I didn't know, to be honest, until I started using the Upside app. So you can go to eat at your local spot, earn cash back, and then do whatever the heck you want with it. Take your wife out to dinner, go fishing. You just get on the app, select the gas station near you. It'll even give you directions if you don't know how to get there, if you're on a road trip or something. Got it. It's gonna give you a certain amount of time to get there, do your business. Click the button, money in the bank. This day and age, that's definitely something that everybody can use a little bit of, is a little extra cash hanging out. And hey, you earn enough, buy yourself a nice truck, kind of like this one. Now I gotta be a little careful because this is one of those vehicles that wherever you go, people are always asking you questions about it. They're always wanting to buy it from you. And I tell you what, you're just not gonna find another gem quite like this one. All right, here she is. Oh my God, I forgot. I got a pair of pants that the pocket fell off the back. I always try to put my keys in the back and then they always just fall on the ground. I got like 3 pairs of the same pants and I always forget which ones they actually are. All right. I would run premium in this beast, but I'm afraid if I do that, I'll actually be upside down on the cost of the truck. It's regular it is. Anyway, when we're doing this, I'll give you a little tour around the truck. Look at this, we got aluminum alloy wheels, brand new set of all-season Michelins all the way around. Three different colors of purple for the price of one. The STX, whatever that means. A Honda badge. I think it makes it more reliable, I'm not sure. Still got the duct tape in the window, probably from when this thing was for sale. It doesn't get much better than this. It's got fender flares, so it's made out of many materials. Aluminum alloy, plastic, fiberglass. And up here, it's really rare. They don't make many of these, but it also happens to be a Chevy. I'm not sure how that works, but right here, look at this. That's just a speed mark there, you know what I mean? We were going a little fast on the highway home and paint couldn't even keep up with this thing. Look at that, 15 gallons this little thing takes. Tell you what though, I earned so much money with Get Upside that not only was I able to buy the vehicle of my dreams, I was also able to afford top quality outboard from China, from Temu. Top Upside earners are making as much as $300 a month. To find out how much you could earn, click the link in the description to download Upside and use code LUKE to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas, or scan the QR code here to claim this offer. I really do appreciate you guys for watching, and I really do appreciate these companies like Upside for being willing to sponsor my YouTube videos, because not only does it allow me to live the life of luxury and drive luxury vehicles just like this one, it also allows me to be able to make more and better content for you guys and put more time towards that kind of stuff. So I really do appreciate the viewers, and I appreciate these companies, I really do. All right, check out the most, by far, the most luxurious part of this vehicle. Check these out, bolster seats. Look at that. Race mode. Watch this, listen. Blow off valve. Can't buy stuff like this new anymore, I'm telling you. It's just, this thing is like a fine wine. It just gets cheaper the longer it sits around. It's also got back seats. Look at this. Jumper seats. Look at that. Put Kiwan back there, dude. We need Danny Duncan's buddies. And benefit, with all that money I'm earning from the Upside app, look at this. I can buy all the fluids that this truck leaks all over my driveway. So we actually happen to have possession of a brand new Yamaha 9.9 currently. So we're gonna try to get it off. We can at least like put them next to each other and do a side-by-side comparison. Just since we have this thing here, we may as well. Because I'm really curious to see, like, is it really that different? Or am I gonna drop this on the ground before I even get it over there?
I've seen in third world countries look like a 200 on one person.
Oh, dude, I know. They're wild. Off the jump, very similar. This one is a little more bulbous. It's a little bit bigger, but you can see they're pretty much identical engines. This one just looks like the Chinese version of this one. We'll pull the top off, take a look and see. Cowling's off, side by side. This one's definitely more buttoned up. So on this one, you can see like the wires, all the little clips, everything's just kind of bound together and zip tied, which to be fair, that's how I would do it. And then on this one, everything's kind of held in a little jiffy here. I wonder if to get around some of the immediate dangers of copyright, that Yamabisi kind of just used an older model of a Yamaha instead of the brand new one. I can also see that the cowling, like all the way around this one, is just a lot bigger in general. I'm assuming everything that they've changed on the Yamabisi is just to get around some sort of copyright, this or that or the other. The tillers are a lot different. The quality of the Yamaha just overall looks a lot better. It's not as rough. Everything's kind of ground down, more polished, painted a little better. But under the hood, man, they look pretty similar. Caps, plugs in the same spot. Fuel pump looks exactly the same. I think that's the thermostat housing. I think on this one it's back a little further. It's the closest clone you could possibly get. Carburetors on both sides are on the same spot. You see that on the Yamabisi, this on the Yamaha. It's as similar as it could possibly be without being exactly the same, in my opinion. Just made out of slightly higher quality Chinesium from the Japanese. I'm pretty sure that this Yamabisi is just a mid-2000s knockoff version of a Yamaha, because this thing just has a lot of the updates that they have on their modern motors. So I'm pretty sure this is just kind of like an older one. So basically for half the price, you're buying 20-year-old Japanese technology built by the Chinese, delivered to your door in 2 months or less. 2 months or more, I guess, really. I'm curious to see how it runs, because the old ones were tanks. Like this era of outboard, when it was new, made by Yamaha, they were absolutely like bulletproof, super indestructible. You could run the crap out of them. They were also early-ish 4-strokes, but they didn't seem to matter that much. They seemed to be pretty reliable. We're gonna get some oil in this one, and then we're just gonna take it out and go see how it runs. See if it runs. Well, luckily for us, the Yamabisi did come with not only instructions, but a toolkit, spelled correctly. And it looks like some extra gaskets and spark plugs, which I don't know if that's comforting or concerning. They either think we'll just give them these and they won't be trying to buy parts for a while and we don't have to deal with it, it'll be fine. Or they think, well, that's all they're gonna need, because after they get through 2 spark plugs and a few gaskets, the rest of this engine is gonna be toast. There is some setup with this thing. Here's the instructions. 4-stroke note. Water-cooled machines cannot be tested on shore. Need to add unleaded 92 gasoline, propeller gear oil, 4-stroke engine oil, optional Yamaha 4-stroke oil. The machine is prohibited from starting and running without lubrication oil. Maybe if you try to start it, it'll like ping somebody in China and they'll just take you out from over there. The machine is forbidden to pump oil instantly. It is forbidden to change gear at high speeds. Otherwise, pistons, crankshaft, transmission gear is broken. The continuous operation time of the full throttle should not exceed 30 minutes. Otherwise, the crankshaft will live the cylinder. Maybe they mean leave the cylinder? It says otherwise, the crankshaft will live the cylinder.
I mean, the crankshaft could also live in the cylinder.
Yeah, that's true. It is forbidden to start operation in weedy shoals, melt reefs, standing, which are easy to cause damage to the gear. Bad water quality is easy to cause failure of cooling system water. The outboard engine must be started in the water. Do not start the engine on the shore. The emergency extinguishing rope should be inserted when the outboard machine is started, and the other end should be put on the wrist or belt. I think they're referring to the kill switch right there. The 4-stroke outboard engine must use number 92 gasoline and 4-stroke specific oil separately added to each other, self-fixed position. Open the oil switch or gently press the oil injector on the carburetor to let the gasoline flow to the carburetor. I think they got the Franks before the beans on that one. I don't think they mean, I think I know what they mean, but I don't think they mean what they're saying. The running in period is about 10 hours or a month, and do not throttle during the running in period. I think they're referring to the break-in period. Replace the gear oil during the running in period, and the second replacement time is about 6 months after 100 hours. 6 months after 100 hours. Interesting. Stand upright in a reliable place when not in use. Here you've heard it, folks. That is the actual instructions that come with setting up the Yamabisi. Here we have the user's manual. Still nothing on actually putting oil in this thing quite yet. How much or whatever. This is the list of things that you're going to get when you get your Yamabisi. I'm not sure what that means.
A frib washer.
I'm going to have to ask my mom if she can read that for us. Just read the English parts. Announcements for users. Okay, this is interesting. I'm just going to skip to a random page here. Hope it's in English enough to read and read you something out of the manual.
There's pictures.
Yeah, there is pictures. And they don't really look like they're made out of a Yamabisi. There is some random pictures. Oddly enough, if you flip to the back, these are pictures of a lawnmower engine. These are not the Yamabisi at all. That's like that must be a Figs and Rattan. The knockoff Briggs & Stratton. Maybe they just have one manual because they're trying to be conscious of the environment. Appreciate that. You know the Chinese, always looking out for the environment. Warning, when normal operation is implemented, you had better not tighten the friction adjustment knob too closely. The reason for this is that too large resistance will affect ideal rotation and adjustment of the accelerator by the handle. In addition, this may also cause incident. Engine flameout switch. That's the kill switch. I've never heard it called a flameout switch. But I'm wondering if they just take the Yamaha instruction manual and then like run it through some kind of chat GPT and then put in a bunch of key terms that it's not allowed to use for copyright infringement. I'm serious about this because I have never ever seen anything worded like this. And I'm about illiterate. I can barely speak English. I mean, I am a freaking roughneck crabber. Reading is not my strong suit, especially not spelling. And this is even pretty impressive for me. Warning, the process of operation, do tie the engine stopping dragline to a safe place on your clothes, arms, or legs. Do not tie the dragline to the place that may fall off from clothes. Prevent risk by the situation that the driver leaves, but the engine still works. Avoid connecting the dragline to the place that may be twinned. T-W-I-N-E-D. Is that even a word? Twinned?
They're trying to tell us to put twin engines.
I think you're right. We have the technology. This thing is gold, man. Wow, everything in this book is not pictures of this actual outboard. But I could tell you what picture of this outboard it is because I have one hanging on the shelf. It's a 3.5 horsepower Tohatsu. Or maybe the Fahatsu. You could read for hours. This is the most interesting thing I've read in quite a while. Installation of the outboard engine should make the boat keep good balance. Otherwise, steering may be affected. Reasonable installation height of outboard may affect engine optimization of handling. If the installation height is too large, vortex may be caused, so the impetus will be reduced. For correct installation of the outboard engine, it is suggested that anti-vortex board should be located in the range which is 25 millimeter lower than the bottom of the boat. I haven't heard any of those terms before. I'm pretty sure anti-vortex board refers to the decavitation plate, as we call it. All right, we got some Yamabisi lube, and we're gonna put in our Yamabisi so we can break it in. It didn't really say in the instructions how much to put in, so we're just gonna add some and then check it. I don't know how much goes in here. I have no concept. Nope. There it is. There was nothing and now there's lots. It's like to here.
That's perfect.
Well, it doesn't say high or low or anything in English or Chinese. It just has a stick, I guess, to see if there's some in there. Both Riley and I are trained Yamabisi techs. We both went to Yamabisi school in Shanghai. Got certified in copyright infringement.
Weirdly enough, for all 5 days, all they did is make us assemble outboards.
Yeah, right.
On the assembly line.
And then we had to write our own certificates and everything. We'll check the lower unit, see if that's got some oil in it. It says it ships without it, but we're just gonna check just in case. Take our Yamabisi dipstick, that actually, oddly enough, was not included. Oh, nope. That's dry. We're gonna have to add some, no big deal. They probably put some in there
and took it
and
out.
then run it and then take it out. That's how you can get a brand new motor for 900 bucks. Oh, so it's filling up right now. That thing's fancy. When I was a kid, I just would take the bottle and cut the thing on an angle and just squeeze it in there, wipe it off, and then see if there was enough. But I never had anything as fancy as a Yamabisi growing up, you know. Make sure you strip it on the first try.
That was a torque wrench clicking.
Yep. Sufficient amount of Luke pounds. Sweet. That's the least amount of mess I've made in a long time. This is the fuel line that comes with it, and it seems really tiny to me and thin. Like you kink it easily. But that's what came with it, so that's what we're gonna try. The Yamabisi did actually come with its own fuel tank, which is awesome because a Yamaha does not come with its own fuel tank.
Well, if they actually are the same fittings, it might work out.
Yeah, the fitting doesn't fit real nicely, but I'm gonna try. I wish they would have put the arrow in English though. I have a hard time reading that. We're about ready to go. Yeah. I'm excited. I also want to mention, I get a lot of comments about, oh, you guys don't have life jackets, you don't have safety gear, you don't have any of that. All right, we always have a throw bag or something. We just got this new throw bag that says safety gear. This is not sponsored. Just so you guys know, we have everything we need. We have flares, life jackets, whistles, fire extinguishers, everything the Coast Guard requires to go out on a boat where we are. It's always in the boat, within arm's reach. I appreciate everybody's concern for my safety. We got that covered. All right, let's get this thing in the water. Dude, first pull. First pull. That's crazy. Oh no, hold on. Man, we gotta let it run with the choke out, I think. There we go. She's breathing that good American air now, baby. None of that Chinese smog. Never mind. So for braking, you want to like vary the RPMs and run at different RPMs, all that kind of stuff. What you don't want to do is just fire it up and let it run at the same RPM for the whole time. It does not seem to want to idle though. I think it'll be fine. Ready? Yeah, let's go. Dang. What? Why would we need an oar? Wear our kill switch. It's idling now. I think it just needed to warm up a little bit. Neutral, reverse, forward. So far, so good. I also see a lot of comments about how it drives people nuts that I run a tiller with my right hand and sit on the port side. But I get it. It's not right, but it's the way I do it. So it is what it is. You ready for blistering speeds? How do they measure speed in China? Kilometers?
I think so.
Okay. Let's see how many kilometers we go.
Doing 6.
6 kilometers?
Miles an hour.
Oh, okay. It's a little touchy. It's kind of like either idle or you breathe on it and it's, oh, it doesn't like that RPM, whatever that is. Above that, she's happy. All right, we'll try giving her a little bit. Actually worked really nicely. So far, so good. We've had it out for about 5 minutes. Has not left us stranded, which is, believe it or not, a lot better than most of the outboards that I've owned in my life. Usually, if you get 5 minutes, you're like, that's pretty good.
I'm actually pretty impressed.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, so far for the money, for being half of the price of a brand new name brand Yamaha, not bad. I'm curious to see, is it gonna hold up over time? What can you throw at this thing? Like real life stuff, because I mean, we shouldn't be that surprised that it runs because it's brand new, right? And even cheap stuff that's brand new generally does run. For how long? And then when we need parts, can we find parts for it? But I gotta say, I'm pleasantly surprised. As long as you're not in a rush to get a motor, as of right now, 6.5 minutes in to owning this thing, I'm impressed. Pretty good. What do you think happened?
I think we spun the hub of the prop right there.
No, you think so?
I think that's what exactly what prop hub spinning sounds
It
like.
sounded like it was hitting limiter. You didn't think it just grabbed some air and cavitated?
Only one way to find out.
Whole shot. Really?
That's exactly because it'll give you a little bit as soon as it needs that high load. I mean, 7 minutes.
Dude.
Spin a hub.
All right, so it's been 30 seconds since we last talked, and there's been a revelation. We spun the hub, I think, because watch this. We'll pin it.
Now it seems
you hear the catching up?
Yeah, or it could have been random other things rattling.
Yeah, this thing does have some mysterious noises that are not standard. I'll say this noises don't come included with the name brand Yamaha. So basically what that means is inside the metal propeller, you have a hard plastic hub. It's either hard plastic or rubber, but I think this one's hard plastic. And so the hub stays inside that propeller, and then if you hit something, the hub will spin inside the prop, and that's to keep the drive shaft from bending. But sometimes with cheap props and stuff, the hub will just spin under the load of its own motor. So I think that's what it sounded like. It'll be a little hard to tell because it'll probably be pretty stiff, but
you can't tell by hand.
yeah, it's really hard to tell because there's a lot of torque on that little shaft. It'll skip it pretty quick. Well,
It was good that last run though.
yeah, the last run it was good.
Maybe we're breaking the prop in too.
Maybe. Just needs warmed up.
Yeah, and he's want to be even tightened.
Yeah, I don't think that's how those work. All right, we'll try it again. That ain't bad.
I was ignoring it.
That's cavitation.
That's normal.
Did it again. There, it's doing it.
That seems like the lower unit. It stopped pumping water. That's in the lower unit.
It stopped pumping water.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
It stopped pumping water.
So when that happened, it stopped pumping water.
Yes.
I don't think that's supposed to happen. The really weird thing is that it quits pumping water, and the water pump is directly connected to the drive shaft. And so if the drive shaft is spinning, even if the prop is spun, it will keep pumping water. So maybe it didn't spin a hub. Maybe it's the clutch dogs in the lower unit.
No, that would still spin the drive shaft. I mean, still spin the water pump's drive shaft is spinning.
Yeah, I guess you're right. That's not great, but I mean, other than, possible major failure, I mean, she runs mint. You think we could submit a warranty claim in Chinese with ChatGPT?
I'm gonna try.
I think
I'm
you
actually
should.
gonna try.
They'll be like, you can ship it back. It's gonna cost you $3,000 to ship it back. We'll email them and ask them and see if there's anything that they suggest, or we can, whatever, because that definitely shouldn't happen with a brand new motor, cheap or not. Drop a comment, like, do you guys think we should durability test this thing? You think we should really see what it's got? Put it through its paces so you don't have to? I think it'd be cool. Still pumping water. Breakdown that people who use the engine for the first time usually encounter. General instruction to remove the faults. Start the engine under emergency. Deal with the soggy engine. We may need to learn to speak Yamabisi. First pull. Dang, look at this. Doesn't leak a drop, per usual. None of our boats leak a drop. It's actually not bad.
That's on spec with the other boat. Better console?
No, that's not true at all. That boat had this entire boat's worth of water inside that boat. Ugh. I nailed it.
So we've had a couple issues with the Yamabisi. It was losing traction and cavitating. So I'm gonna try just dumping the engine all the way down, and we can at least then rule out cavitation. Reasonable installation height of outboard may affect engine optimization of handling. If the installation height is too large, vortex may be caused, so the impetus will be reduced. So pull that bolt, boom, drop her down on the transom. Just realized I forgot the fuel tank. Let's see if we fix the problem. We got our go bag with our life jackets on. Yep, still leaking. Cold start. Not bad, Yamabisi. All right, so we got about 20 minutes before that turns into a much more serious problem. It is touchy and it'll about shake the teeth out of your head and stall constantly. Come on. Oh, that's not good. Why is it smoking? Probably don't need to look any further into that. Maybe it thinks it's a two-stroke. All right, it's either this fast or it stalls. I can tell with my speedometer down here how fast we're going.
the higher the spray, the faster we're moving. I think we're going about 7 knots right now. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, we're on planes, we're doing 20. Oh, it's self-cooling, it cools the driver. Bubble heads. I think we can conclusively say 2 things. Number 1, I do think the motor was up a little high. We got a little more speed out of it before, but it would lose traction. Now, we've lowered it. We get a little less speed, but more reliable speed, which I like. And our speed indicator seems to be working better than ever. It is shooting a higher, faster, colder stream than I even remember it. In conclusion, it does work. It's 2/3 of the price of a brand new name brand outboard that you can buy with the click of a button, and it will actually show up to your house with all the pieces in mostly English. And it will start and run for the most part. It shakes a lot, but it does idle. If you want to get a brand new outboard with no warranty, with instructions in Chinese, you're looking to save a couple bucks, yeah, I guess it works. I mean, somebody had to figure it out. We'll see how long she lasts, because we're hard on motors around here. Thanks for watching. Well, it looks pretty good to me. It's probably one of my better trailer jobs. Oops.